Well, hello. I'm Courtney Spaeth with the Goalpreneur podcast. I am so excited for this next episode because Ivana Ivanek is a keynote speaker, a mindset coach, a business strategist, and host of the Online Business by Design podcast, helping service providers build an online business that makes money and impact. Now, after a decade of observing and connecting with people, she discovered a powerful truth. Fear of societal rejection and judgment is the hidden reason most people hold back from chasing their dreams. Coming from a background where entrepreneurship was not an option and hitting rock bottom after failing a business in her early 20s, Ivana is on a mission to teach people how to stop playing small with their potential and build impactful businesses and personal brands. Ivana, thank you so much for being on the Goalpreneur podcast. I'm so happy that you're here.
Courtney, it's a privilege, and I'm so excited to have this juicy conversation with you.
It is going to be juicy because I'm looking at your website right now, and I love this. Listen up, audience. If you carry a gift within to help people live a better life, it is your responsibility to deliver it. I believe that everything you need to succeed is already within you. I got goosebumps because that statement, so powerful. And that's part of what we're going to talk about today.
Courtney, I'm saying this so often. This is one of the statements that I was scared about to say. Because who am I to do this? But now as you're reading it out and I can absorb it with every cell, I got goosebumps too.
It's powerful.
I got goosebumps too.
It's a
so
very life-changing, in-your-face phrase or quote. A lot of people have these talents, these gifts within them. And for some reason, which you're going to tell us, why do they play small? Why do they not step out of their comfort zone and lean into what they know can help other people? What's stopping them?
So I can speak from more than a decade now of observations, because I came up with a wild dream one day. And I thought, you know what? I would like to live by the ocean, travel the world, do meaningful work as someone who helps people. And I want to be famous. I carried that thought and that dream within me for a long time because I grew up in as an immigrant with an immigrant background, working class family. My family hustled hard to allow me a stable, safe life. I didn't have to grow up in a war zone. They immigrated from Serbia to Austria. I had friends, school, education, access to university, and all that my parents wanted is for me to climb the corporate ladder. Like, my path was paved. But somewhat in school, I already thought, like, oh my goodness, why do I need to sit here and learn how an amoeba virus spreads in a human body? And nobody can explain to me how Beyonce could create that band back in the days, Destiny's Child, being only 9 years old, and I was 16, sitting in school, having questions, having to learn what I didn't want to learn. This continued, and I started eventually declining promotions. I was in jobs, not knowing what I'm doing there, why I'm doing it, didn't want to get up in the morning. And at some point I thought, like, you know what? I'm going to talk to people and I'm going to ask people what they are doing and why they are not doing things, because I was curious too, why I can't just, go somewhere and do the thing that I would love to do, not knowing what this could have been at the time. I was very young. And this is where my observation started. I'm still keep on having these conversations. I'm collecting the data. This is going to be, I think, one of my first books one day.
Yes.
But often you ask people about their life, they will tell you that they are happy, everything is going, it's just so amazing. And then you would ask them, but what would you be, rather doing? Is there something you're dreaming about? And this is where the entire energy, the whole room changes. And I just see sparkle in their eyes when people say, you know what, if I could. And there is this inhale and this exhale of purpose, excitement. And they tell you everything that they would like to be doing. And if I ask the next question and be like, but why don't you do it? Then come the excuses. Oh, the risk. I have a family. I have someone to take care of. I don't know if I'm made for this. And the worst thing that I ever heard, and that was me including, was, what are people gonna think of me?
Mhm.
Because I felt guilty for all the hustle that my parents put in. And I'm not appreciative enough. Because I'm starting a revolution everywhere I go. And what I did, but that wasn't the easiest path I chose.
Yeah. When you said you felt guilty because you saw your parents hustle to provide an amazing life for you, to give you the opportunities that they maybe didn't have, you felt guilty about that. I think that is one of the saddest things. I can speak to that too. It is one of the saddest things to have that, like you said, to have that spark in you and to know it's within arm's reach, but you cannot go there
Mm-hmm.
because you're looking behind thinking, I'm going to let my family down. Look at what they had to do. Look at how hard they worked. Excuse me. Look at how hard they worked. Work needs to be hard. Work needs to be hustle. And it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Work can be easy. Times have changed. Everything shifts. There is no status quo.
Yeah. But to add on to this, there is no status quo, and I don't think there ever was. I do believe that nowadays, with innovation, digitalization, and the access we have to media, and having the opportunity to sit like you and me are doing right now, I think when my parents, grew up and been working, they just didn't exist. My parents grew up in a communistic background, originally from Serbia. That means there is also a huge cultural pressure on what people think of you. And I knew that from a very early age. It was so important what people think of me. And that was one reason why it was important for me to go to university and to all these things. So there was also a representation. So anything that I did different, my parents felt too. And I needed to learn to be okay with it and to understand that it's not only my fear to fail, to take the risk and to look stupid as a beginner and whatever these thoughts were back in the days, but to also understand that, wow, I am embedded in a societal circle that I cannot change. And that was the moment where I thought like, wow, this is going to be hard work because everyone is against me. They love me. They want to protect me. They're telling me that this is not for me because nobody has ever done it in our family. It's all embedded in love
Yeah.
and somewhat, not my girl. Like, you don't have to go through this. But I needed to learn to take a step back and be like, whew, I'm gonna do it anyway.
So when you told your family, like, this is my dream, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I feel called to do, what was their response? How did you feel? Let's start there. How did you feel? And then what was their response?
Well, I felt excited at first because I was young. I was in my beginning 20s. I was young and naive enough to think I'm going to put myself out there as a fitness and mindset coach and everybody will just come to me. Didn't know nothing about marketing and strategizing and to how to sell and what to do. It was like I was really naive enough to go in this world thinking everyone was waiting for me. That was exciting. The response was barely any. They didn't want to put me down. They didn't want to encourage me either because they didn't understand, which was painful enough. I would have rather heard something like, I wanted to have a fan club, let's be real, which I didn't have. Then I rather than hearing nothing, I think I would have liked to hear, ask for help if you need some, as much as we can help, or whatever. But there was no response, which I knew was disapproval.
Mm.
So besides the fact when I started building that business, it was not building a business, but it was running after money, selling myself for no money, really being so exhausted, mainly because I went on a journey to prove that I can, to prove my family and my friends that I can do what I want to be doing. I was leaking energy in all directions.
I was going to ask, how burnt out were you trying to
4 years later, I made it 4 years, Courtney. 4 years.
Okay.
Four.
A lot of hustle, I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I hit rock bottom mentally, physically, and financially
Yeah.
in
Then
all
what was the
directions.
changing point, or
I
what
just
was
couldn't.
the pivot? Like that light bulb above the head, the pivot, the shift for you. What was that?
My body. There was a moment I couldn't get out of bed, and my body telling me, "That's it, Ivana. We are done." Like I pushed it so far because it was so important for me to prove that I can. And I ended up in my worst case scenario, back in corporate with a shitty job because I was out for 4 years. So I started from bottom, no money, a debt to pay, and the psychologist I loved. That was good.
Maybe that was the little kick in the pants that you needed. It's like now you're back in corporate,
Mhm.
back doing something that is sounding dreadful, you didn't like, and it might have made your family happy. It's like, see, it maybe solidified. See, I knew you couldn't do it. But for you, maybe it happened exactly how it was supposed to happen, so that you knew without a doubt you did not want that life. You did not want that corporate life. And you were able then to lean into your gift, your calling.
Yeah,
Is that
not
when like the
directly.
big door opened for you? It was like, Ivana, come on in.
Come on in, yeah. I mean, you are right in retrospect, looking back at it, yes, but it wasn't immediately because I did hear things like, "Oh, thank God you're not doing this anymore. Can't you see what it did to you? Oh, we are so happy. You are again in this safe space and you're having a salary again." And I was just sitting there and being like, I mean, great, yeah, but can't you see that just my biggest dream shattered? And then I realized, like, ooh, okay, we are not speaking about this anymore. For me, it was the hardest point was not failing because I didn't see this as a failure somehow. I couldn't phrase it back in the days. But the hardest thing was being seen failing. And
Yeah.
I think this is what so many people fear, because if you really have that gift, that fire, and you want to build something on your own and you know that there is an extraordinary life out there for you, you are not really, I mean, there is fear. Like, I don't want to, like, I don't want to make it smaller
There's a
than
healthy
it
amount
is.
of fear.
Yeah,
There's a
but it is
healthy fear.
that fear of failing, to be seen failing, that people see that might take longer, or that things are not going the way things are supposed to be going, or things are going astray, which, believe it or not, everybody who is listening here, is the exact roadmap. Nothing ever goes to plan. The reason why people succeed is not because they have never failed, but because they failed, looked at the data, and improved.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
now go to someone who doesn't understand nothing about it and be like, you know what? I'm going back to corporate. I'm gonna recover physically, mentally, financially, and I'm going to learn and work on my mistakes. I didn't say nothing. For me, this was a quiet comeback preparation.
Yeah. Powerful. So, wasn't it Edison, the light bulb? He tried 10,000 different ways. He didn't fail. He learned what didn't work and he
Hmm.
pivoted. He didn't give up. He kept trying and trying until he found a way for the light bulb. So, we talk about our failures in trying something new. We all have a starting point. Yeah, we're going to fail because we don't know what we're doing, but we
Most
learn.
definitely.
We learn and we keep learning and we implement what we've learned and we get better and we get more comfortable. What was you and I were talking right now and I'm telling you, business idea that I have and I'm like, I'm terrified. I'm
Hmm.
terrified because I don't want to be seen. I like to be in the background. I have no support. I don't come from money, but I have these really great ideas and I hear it all the time from people. I'm having trouble with this. I'm having trouble with that. I can't seem to overcome this. it's like, the hand goes up. It's like, I can help you. I can help you. But if you and I were talking, it'd be, I don't want to be seen because
Mhm.
that mental noise, it's loud. It's wanting me to play small, stay in that comfort zone. We listen to the outsiders that have no clue. They're not brave enough to do what you're doing. So,
Mhm.
what would you tell me to make me step up onto that platform so that I would feel empowered? What would
Yeah. In this point, I would like to go back to that point to understanding that, first of all, fear will always be there. The only thing that changes is that you will be more resilient. You will not overthink that much anymore. And this is a guarantee. But I would not start with the fear. I would start accepting the environment. And the simple thought that has helped me so much is that 98% of all people consciously choose a mediocre life. They consciously choose to put their dreams on a shelf. And then there is you and me having a big vision, trying to make this world a better place. In no way it is your responsibility to go to this 98% of people and explain yourself. This is the wrong place to go. Once you have, and I'm not saying, ditch your family. Please don't. I'm not saying that. It's just at some point, the conversations on our dinner table, when someone asks me, how is business going? I say, fine. And my sister sits there and be like, the launch just flopped. I know what she's thinking because she knows the detail, but I'm not explaining myself anymore. And I realized that this is not even lying. It's just protecting someone from pain and worry who can't understand.
they don't have the capacity to understand or they don't want to.
Whatever it might be, I'm also not even taking this responsibility anymore. I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. Because there was Irving Goffman, a sociologist, who has written that book. I don't remember the title anymore, but it says that we are playing the different roles throughout the day, which is true. Like we are mothers, sisters, caregivers, fathers, friends, managers, entrepreneurs, whatever we are throughout the day. And society doesn't really care what you are doing as long as you are doing great.
Say that again.
Society doesn't care what you are exactly doing as long as you are doing great.
Okay.
And in circles where you are clearly misunderstood, I am doing great. Thank you for asking. But tell me, how was your day? Is your answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then
No
please
more
go and
explanation.
find circles where you belong. Find circles, have the conversation with
Yes.
people who are walking the walk. This would
Yes.
be
Yes.
my absolute and first advice. And the second thing I would suggest is try not to think that strategic approaches are not for you. This is my recommendation. I tried and it cost me a lot. There is so much time, money, nerves, energy you can save yourself if you do the right things at the right time.
Mm-hmm. So good. So where you're a business strategist, you're a mindset coach, keynote speaker. What type of audiences are you speaking to?
I'm speaking to the woman who knows that she carries a gift within her that can change someone's life, make this world a better place. She knows that her wisdom, her knowledge, her intellectual property is something that she can monetize and clearly struggles with that. But what if I fail and what people gonna think of?
Yeah. I think that just need to tune that out. Tune that out completely. Like you said
Absolutely.
before, they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand your path or
No,
that burning passion, that heart that you
yeah.
have.
But there might be a turning point too, Courtney. What I realized, I stopped talking about it. I just said, I said what I needed to say, not going into detail. And at some point, things changed just slightly on the table where then suddenly people say, they will never say they're proud of me. That doesn't run in my family. But what they say something like, yeah, but she's now living that life she likes. They just drop comments where I'm like, ooh, they see now that I'm doing great. They had enough proof to no longer worry about me. But it took me to stand in my leadership role and walk that and pave that path for their understanding.
Yes.
And
For
it's
you to
it's slow
own that role.
development, and it wasn't my intention either, but I can see that slowly but steady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want to live by the ocean? You live in the Caribbean. You have family back in Austria, so you can go back there and visit. You work for yourself. You get to impart motivation and empowerment into people that kind of have that glimmer in their eye, that desire. You get to solidify that in them, that it is okay to follow your dream. It is okay to step out of the norm or to break free from that mold. I'm getting goosebumps again because I mean, this is good stuff. People need to hear this. People need to hear. They need to hear your YouTube speech, one of your speeches on
We can
YouTube. I'm going to
place it in
link
the
that
show
in the
notes.
show notes. I'm going to put that in there because I listened to that yesterday. It was hard hitting. It was very good. And it was just like the way that you spoke was so calm and direct and intentional. It's like, okay, what's coming next? What else does she have to say? It was like, it keeps your interest. It's like, okay, I believe what she's saying. It's powerful stuff. And you're doing it. You're living the life that you want on your terms without being crowded in some cubicle, without being stuck in an office, trying to hustle your way up the corporate ladder. I mean, this lifestyle, entrepreneurship, it is not for everybody. It really isn't.
Absolutely not. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to do it, but we are also speaking to the person who has that fire. And yes, I mean, when you think about that, when you say, okay, I'm working from the comfort of my own home, maybe in Austria or in the Caribbean, and I get to, like, I'm calling this my job. Courtney, sitting here with you, this is our job, right? And if you tell this the world, it's like, wow, that sounds like too dreamy, too kind of fancy, and too wild to actually believe that it's actually possible. But these are all narratives and norms. And if we just allow ourselves to think a little bit beyond that and be like, what's possible for me? Not what the rest of the world says. And just also answer the question for yourself, like, where do I come from? What is my capacity, my skill set? What do I know and what I still need to learn, and how I'm going to learn it and with whom? This is already so much clarity you gain where you realize, is this even possible for me? And you on your own can estimate and say, like, okay, is this going to take me a year or do I need another 5? And is this something that I still want to pursue? Like, that's why I want to say it's for everyone. There are so many stories where we thought people had overnight success. J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter,
Yeah.
was rejected 7 long years. 7 years she was getting rejections till she hit that one success.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have the time, then I'm encouraging you, please go for it. You've got that one precious life.
Yeah.
The one and only.
Yes. And you don't want to be on, God forbid, you don't want to be on your deathbed thinking back over your life, thinking, if I had only, if I had the courage to, you don't want to have those what ifs. So you can always go back like what you had done. You stepped out of the mold, you stepped out of the comfort zone, found what didn't work, went back to corporate, back to the safety net, and then built something truly amazing. And you are living the life that you wanted. So Excellent. Excellent. Tell us quick about your podcast.
Yes, my podcast is full of these stories because I like to say that businesses are not just built in one way. We have options, we have opportunities, we have different paths depending where you come from, what you want to be doing. Not everybody needs to run the same business in the same way. And Online Business by Design is crafted. It's a marketing and mindset podcast that gives you the tools to learn the how, but also the stories to see what people have done, how they have done that, what they needed to overcome, and where they ended up eventually. So it's full of powerful stories from entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs. I had the honor to interview a few millionaires by now and their path and how they started disliking their businesses as soon as they got successful. Like there is so much juiciness in there, and there's a lot of personal branding strategies in there where you can just dig in, take what you like, what serves you, leave the rest, and move from there.
That's what I say. Take what you like, take what serves you, that's going to help you get to that next step. Leave the rest. You don't have to implement every single strategy. I love that.
It can become
Love
very
that.
tiring.
Yeah. Ivana, thank you so much for being my guest on the Goalpreneur podcast. This conversation was absolutely amazing. A lot of really great information. And you really do have that calling of making people see the possibility and believing it.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Courtney. Like everywhere I go, I see the potential. And it hurts me when I see it going to waste, especially because really I'm on a mission to show that, the world needs more conscious leaders, and
Mhm.
women need to learn how to make money and stand on their own beyond a corporate contract if this is your calling.
Yeah,
It's my
absolutely.
privilege to have this conversation with you. Thank you.
This was really great. I am going to link all of your information in the show notes, make it nice and easy for my audience to just go and click, say, I want to go to her website. I want to listen to that podcast. Sounds really good. And also your YouTube video, because like I said, that was very, very powerful. So make it nice and easy. I will link everything in the show notes. And thank you again, Ivana, for this conversation. I'm so happy to have met you. I'm glad you responded and that we could have this sit down conversation. It was really good chatting with you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye for now.